Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new Facebook ads lead ads training. This is going to be the first step-by-step lead ads training we have done this year, and what a year it has been. So if I take you back to the last one we did, this was over a year ago. A lot has changed in that time since we did that video, and I thought, you know what, now is the perfect time to give you an updated version, because when I did this video, 433 views, just a couple of months later I did a Zoom video, and as you can see there, we had over 90,000 views on that Zoom video alone. Now I know there's a lot going on in the world of Facebook ads, so I kind of wanted to give you an updated training, an updated step-by-step beginner's guide to really getting started with Facebook lead ads. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, make sure you do subscribe by clicking that big red button below. Okay, let's dive straight in. So the first place we need to be to get started is head over to facebook.com. Then on the left hand side here, we're going to see a little arrow that says see more. We're going to give that a click, and that's going to load a few additional things up. We're looking for the one that says ads. It might say Facebook ads, it might say ads manager. As long as it says ads or has this symbol, we want to give that a click. So we're going to click that. That's then going to load up ads manager for us. So if you've never used Facebook ads before, don't worry, okay, because this really is a beginner's guide to it. So you might get a load of warnings up here at the top, and as you can see, there is quite a lot of change going on inside Facebook itself with its ads. But for now, we don't need to worry about any of this. So whatever it's saying, we can just press X to remove those warnings. From this stage now, we're going to start off by pressing the green Create button here on the left-hand side. That's then going to load up a different type of campaigns that we can use. So we've got awareness, we've got considerations, and we've got conversions. For this one, we're going to use something called Facebook lead ads or lead generation. So if we press the information, it's collecting leads for your business or brand. Basically what that means is we're going to run an advert on Facebook, and the user who's viewing and reading your advert is going to click the link. It's going to load a pop-up inside of Facebook. Facebook's going to gather their details for you. They submit, you get their details, and then you can go on with chasing that lead. It's perfect for any service-based business, but specifically we work with FitPros. So if you're putting loads of content out there and you want to generate a lot of interest in the next course that you're doing, then lead generation ads is a great way to do it. So let's give lead generation ad a click. From there, we'll just press continue. So here we go. Facebook ads is built into three things. We have the campaign type, and the campaign type we're using today is lead generation. So let's just give this a name. So let's just say we're going to work with ladies. So we start off by calling it ladies. Then what I like to do is put in the conversion type. So for this one, we're going to do lead ads. As you can see here, I've got the one before. You call it lead generation. We just need to remind ourselves what it is this campaign was. Then I will put in usually the offer that we're running for, so I'll put a 6-week. And then I want to remind myself of the date that we set this up. So the date is the 21st of December. And let's say I'm going to spend £5 a day on these ads. So it would look something like this. The reason we're doing it like this is in future, when we want to go back and see what we ran last December or what we ran a couple of months ago to compare stats, we can just dive into our 6-week ads that we ran, and we see how much when we launched this ad, how much we were spending, and so forth from there. So you've got the campaign name. Once it's done, just press enter, and that will save. Next, we're going to click this new ad set button here. Now the ad set is where we choose the type of people that we want to work with, okay? So you can choose a wide range of audience, or we can really be really narrow with the audience itself. So in the ad set name, I'm just going to call this copy 1. And the reason I'm doing that is simple. Because we're spending £5 a day, I'm going to create 2 variations. So we're going to spend £2.50 each on each ad set. That way then, if I call it copy 1, the next one will be called copy 2, and then I have a clear idea what is what and what is not, so we can see which one's going to get us the best results. When it comes to lead method itself, we're just going to click instant forms. So that lets people submit a form to become a lead. As you scroll down a little bit further then, it's going to ask you to select your Facebook page. The Facebook page that you're admin of should be the one that loads up here. If it's not, just click the down arrow and it will give you a few other ones that you can click. So if I'm happy with David Kyle here, it might then say that you need to accept the terms and conditions. You can see I've already accepted my terms and conditions, but from here you just press accept terms and conditions. It loads up this page here. All you would do is scroll all the way up. You could either scroll to the bottom and press accept, or you can see we just press accept at the top right here. We press X, and then that would say you've now accepted the terms and conditions. So let's scroll down. Dynamic creative, we can leave that. Catalog, we can leave that. But we're going to start with the budget and schedule. So remember earlier, we mentioned we're spending £5 a day, and we were going to create 2 variations of this ad, which means the daily budget for this particular ad set is going to be £2.50. So when we duplicate or create the second version is going to be £2.50 as well. So both of those together add up to £5. Schedule start date, we leave this as it is. And we're never ever going to put in an end date. The only time you might do something is if you're starting, let's say you want to start your advert on Christmas Day, for example, you might change the start date so it starts on a specific time. But generally, we're going to start ads right away, so we're not going to have a start date. As for the end date, you tend to wouldn't have an end date because if you're putting an end date in, it means you aren't managing or optimizing your ads correctly, which means you should never have an end date because you should end it when it stops performing. That's all we need to do at that section there. Then we move into the audience. Now the audience is the biggest part we need to consider at this stage because the audience is the people your advert is going to be shown to. So for us, our gym is based in Cardiff in Wales. So when it says locations, we're going to press the edit button. That's going to load up a location of a map. So if I click United Kingdom now, that's going to show me a map. But I don't want the whole of the United Kingdom. So I'm going to press X up here where it says United Kingdom. That's going to take me out. And all I'm going to do then is click and hold and I can move around. But once I'm close enough, I'll double tap, and just keep double tapping until I find my ideal location. So what I'm looking for is roughly whereabouts the gym is situated. So the gym is here, so I would press drop pin, just click to drop once I've found it, and that drops the pin. And you can see then it puts a nice radius circle around my location so I can target those people in this exact location. Now, because I'm from Cardiff or I live in Cardiff, I know how far people would be willing to travel to come to my gym. So this means 16 kilometers for me is too far. Nobody's going to travel from basically in Newport to come to Cardiff. Nobody's going to travel from beyond Barry to come to Cardiff. So in this section up here where it says 16 kilometers, I'm going to give that a click and I'm going to reduce that down to 8 kilometers. The radius has been massively reduced, and if I double click now, I can see that I know people around this area would definitely come to the gym. And then maybe I might want to consider let's add in maybe just 1 more kilometer, take that up to 9, just to increase the catchment area. And as you can see here on the right hand side where it says 410,000 people, if I change this to let's say 5, that's going to massively go down, so only 290,000 people. But if we take it back up to 9, so that's telling us roughly in a 9 kilometer radius of the gym, there's 410,000 people. Now at the start, remember, we chose we were only going to run this advert to ladies. So if we come down to gender over here and we're going to press edit, we're going to click women and have that only. So before we go any further, when we run Facebook ads, you never want to have one advert that hits both genders at the same time, unless the product is specific for both genders. In this example, we're running adverts for a gym, and it's always better to talk to each gender individually because you don't want to be telling men that they want to be getting in their bikini in the summer, and likewise for the ladies, they don't want to be getting in their swimming trunks in the summer either. So when you write your Facebook ads copy, it needs to talk to a specific person. So when we do run ads, we run a ladies advert and then we would run a male advert. Next, let's move to age. Let's press edit here. So my gym is an over 30s gym. So I don't want to be targeting anybody under the age of 30. So when it says age 18, I'd give that a click, scroll down to it says 30, and then where it says maximum age, I would scroll down to let's say 55. And as you can see here, that's reduced me down to 99,000 people. Now, I would be happy with 1% of that. That would keep us going nice and comfortably. So you can play around with whatever numbers you want to try and get a good percentage of people. But you often want to make sure it's tagged in your area rather than having a massive number here. I would rather have a small amount of people, let's say 10,000 people in a catchment area, than going too wide and too broad and none of those people being really interested in what we have to offer. Now, if we scroll down a bit further, the final bit we might want to consider is the placement area. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because when you leave it on automatic, Facebook put your ad to all kind of placements, from desktop browser to desktop newsfeed to mobile browser to mobile messenger to Instagram messenger to Instagram live to Instagram, and all these different places that Facebook own. So if you leave it as automatic, Facebook will just place it to wherever it can to try and get you the best results. If you want to get a little bit more technical, maybe we would place manual. We would click devices and press edit. We would go to mobile only to untick the desktop, so it says devices mobile, and then we would literally untick Instagram and we would untick everything except for Facebook news feed. And the reason we would do this is because if you have everything ticked, your creatives, this is the videos and images and text that you're going to use, will need to be specific for each area. So this is the Facebook newsfeed one. If we tick Facebook Marketplace, you can see how the images are changing. We would have to make sure that our image, videos, text fit perfectly for the situation. So if we were running Instagram stories, but we only had a circle or a square as an image, it wouldn't really benefit from that type of place. Or maybe your copy was a really, really long copy and that was your aim and focus, then the image or video wouldn't really work. So let's go for mobile only newsfeed, mobile only Facebook newsfeed. So with that tick now, that's now given us a potential reach of 82,000 people. From there, we're done on the ad set side. Next, let's go to new ads here on the left-hand side. I'm going to press X off this to remove this out of the way. Okay, so when we chose our Facebook page earlier in the ad set section here, that automatically loads up your Facebook page in this section here. If you want to change this because you've chosen the wrong Facebook page, you'd have to come back into the ad set, change the page that you want to target. That then would change this page. But for now, let's leave it on new ad because this is the campaign itself. This is the ad itself. I'm going to call this copy 1. I'm going to scroll down. You can see advertising on Instagram. There's nothing selected. That's because in the ad set, when we scrolled all the way down to placements, we chose mobile Facebook only. So if we did tick Instagram here, for example, and we come back now to the ad itself, you can see your Instagram account has been selected. But we don't want Instagram, so let's go back to ad set. We'll scroll down to placements. We will turn Instagram off. Come back to the ad itself. And you can see there Instagram is turned off. Okay, let's scroll down a bit further. So the ad setup is create ad. We don't want to be selecting use an existing ad or use Creative Hub mockup. We just want to stick with create ad. We're going to create a single image or video advert. And then as we scroll down, we can then get started. So let's start with the primary text itself. The primary text, this is what the user or the reader is going to be reading. So if I just head back to my notes quickly, let me grab one ads copy for you really quickly now. Down a bit further, let's go. Let's just copy this. Now in the primary text, we would paste this text in here. And as you can see, the text looks good. So let me explain this text a little bit clearer for you. So when you're on Facebook, specifically on, let's say, your mobile, you're sat in front of the TV, you're slowly scrolling through your Facebook news feed, and the aim of the Facebook advert is to stop you scrolling. So when we write our Facebook adverts, we need to be calling out for a specific audience type, talking to their specific wants and needs within the first second or so. Because as somebody's scrolling through, they're going to see, let's say, exciting news for Cardiff over 30s ladies. That's what they've seen on their mobile as they've scrolled through. Maybe that person that's reading it is based in Cardiff, is over 30, is female, and they're like, wow, that advert is specifically for me. They then click the advert and they start reading more. And this is where we start writing the rest of it. We're now looking to take on our first post-lockdown. Let's put Cardiff ladies in here, who want to dramatically transform their body in 6 weeks. I can remove this link for 1 second. This is not a boring cardio, restrictive or quick fix program. It's a carefully crafted transformation program that is tried and tested on hundreds of local Cardiff ladies. We found that 6 weeks is long enough. Okay, we can remove this section here. Please be aware spaces are limited, so I'm only looking for ladies who. So as you can see, we're talking specifically to a person. So this is kind of like their desire. We're then moving into logical reasons why they can do it. And then finally, we're adding some urgency to say that they need to be taking action now, or they might lose out on being able to secure their place. So let's remove link from here. So name, I'm going to put my name as David. And we're going to put the business, which is DK9 Fitness. David and the DK9 Fitness team. Perfect. So I'm just going to grab my face and move it out of the way quickly. Okay. So that part's done. Now in the headline is what's going to come just under this form on Facebook. So all I would do usually is I would just grab this headline here. Let me copy that. Scroll down to the headline box itself and paste that in. You can see here, exciting news for Cardiff over 30s ladies. I'd put dash, dash, and the little arrow sign. Because again, my aim is to get this user, this viewer, to focus on exactly what I'm talking to. So they've seen exciting news for Cardiff over 30s ladies. As they scroll down, it matches, but then the arrow is pointing towards a specific call to action. So if we scroll down, option, description, we're going to completely ignore that. The display link, this is optional. Now when we do this, in the UK, it is okay to have your website address in there. So if you're not sending people specifically to your website, maybe you send them to some sort of landing page, and this would be more based on if you're running conversion ads or something like that. You have to put the exact display link in. But for this example now, we can just put our website URL in. So it looks much neater. www.dk9fitness.com. So it looks really nice. It looks official. It looks like we're a proper business doing proper things. So call to action, sign up. That is not a great one, okay? Remember, the person reading this is sat on the sofa. They are not prepared, or they weren't expecting to be joining a gym or some sort of fitness program as they're sat there watching the TV. So we want to make the call to action a nice soft action. And that would be maybe learn more. So they've read it, they like the sound of it, it sounds like their type of thing, and as you can see, exciting news for Cardiff over 30s ladies, learn more. Now the learn more button has taken up too much space, so we're maybe going to have to move that exclamation mark. Still not enough space for Cardiff ladies, let's remove that. Much better. Exciting news for Cardiff ladies. Okay, scroll down a bit further now. And then we've got the question format, which is instant form. Perfect. And then we're going to create a form. So for this one, all we would do is press the create form button. So you may have some before, if you've ran them before. If not, this will be completely blank. So we'll press create form. Then we want to give the form a name. So let me just call this test. And the date is 21st of December. So the reason I put test on 21st of December is because when I go back again in time, I will know exactly what this form was for and the date I created it on. So for you, you would put the program length. So it could be 6 weeks, 30 days, 12 weeks, 8 weeks, first week free, whatever it is, and the date. So when you can go back in time, you can see how many leads you got from that specific campaign. You know exactly what campaign it was, the date it was launched, and you're good to go from there. Now, if you're, now let me explain this better. Tomorrow I'm going to do a video on the higher intent. So depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this live as we're going through, so today, the 21st of December, we're talking about setting up a basic LeadAd Facebook advert. Tomorrow we're going to talk about higher intent. But if you're watching this not on the 21st of December, you're watching this later on in 2021 or whenever, make sure you go and check out the next video beside this as we talk about higher intent. The difference really is higher intent asks them to double confirm their details. So it will say, is your name really David Kyle? Is your email really this? Is your phone number really this? Whereas more volume doesn't ask them to double confirm. It just says, are these your details? You press submit and you go from there. So form type, we can close this. Intro, we're going to click this and we're going to remove it, okay? Because we don't want any additional reasons for people to not want to give their details. The more stuff, the more hurdles you put in front of them, the more content you put in front of them from this stage forward, the less likely they are to give you their details. So let's just remove greeting completely. Nice. Next, close intro and let's open questions. Now, description is simple. It should just say, where should we send more info? Question mark. Because we don't want to overcomplicate things. We don't want to over-confuse them. We just want to know where we should send them more information. So let's move, click and hold full name. I'm going to drag this up above email. So it goes full name, email, add category, and we're going to go contact, and we're going to go phone number. So when somebody submits their form, they're giving you their full name, their email address, and their phone number. Now the great thing about Facebook Lead Ads is it automatically pre-populates their details. There's no reason for them to have to type anything else in. Whereas when we were looking at that section then, when we talked about form types and we looked at higher intent, it will double confirm that these are the correct details. Now one thing I will show you on this training, we'll also go over it in more detail tomorrow, is maybe you're setting up some automations where you don't want their full name, you just want their first name and their last name to be separate. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the bin on full name. We're going to add category. We're going to go to contact field or user information. We're going to press first name, add category, user information, last name. Ooh. Okay, so click and hold first name, let's drag it up. Click and hold last name, let's drag it up. And then we're good to go. So when they land on this page, where should we send you more info? First name, last name, email, and phone. Scroll down. Now, privacy. Now this is really important. We can't go any further than putting our privacy policy in. So if you don't have a privacy policy, you're going to have to get one. So let me show you a great place that you can get a temporarily one while you get your specific one. So we're going to put generic privacy. So let me just click it again. So it's called privacypolicies.com/generic. Now this is a temporarily, this is a temp privacy policy for you, okay? It's really, really basic, okay? So we can't be putting this on our websites and we don't really want to be relying on this because this might not cover you. It would be worth going to pricing, purchasing one from them and having a proper one set up. But for now, let's just use their template one, their basic one, their generic one to get started. Head back to Facebook Ads Manager. The link, you paste that in there. Nice. Finally is completion. So they've submitted their form. Now we could keep it super simple. Thanks, you're all set. You can now visit our website or exit the form and you put the website in. But we want to give them more information, okay? So I would put something like great news. Then in this section here, your interest has been submitted. One of the team will be in contact shortly. Until then, feel free to come and check out the website. Full stop, and I put David and the DK9. Ooh. Perfect. So great news. It's because they've just submitted their details. Great news. Your interest has been submitted. One, the team will be in contact shortly. Until then, feel free to come and check out the website. The button call to action is view website. There's a few other options, but we're just going to go view website. The call to action text, view website, it can be anything you want. You can be click here. It can literally be whatever you want. You've got 60 characters, but because we've told them to come and check out the website, let's put view website. And then in the HTML or in the link, we'll just put www.dk9fitness.com. So anybody now that submits the form, they'll read this text, they'll press view website, and they'll head over to the website. And all we do from there is press publish. Nice. Okay, the one thing we did miss at the start was if we scroll up slowly now to where it says media, I want to change this image because as you can see, there's two guys in this image and this is specifically for ladies. So all I would do is press clear image. And when that's removed, we press add media and we have an option. We can add videos or we can add images. So let's just say we want to add an image. We add image and this loads up account images. So if we wanted to upload an image directly from your computer, we'd press the upload button. That would take us onto our computer itself. So we've got our downloads here. We've got our desktop photos here. So I might click this one to load this up and press open. If I did click that image, let's say this was the image, it would load, I would press next, I would confirm, and that image loads in. Maybe I wanted the video instead, so I'd press clear image, I'd press add media, add video. I can upload a video by pressing this button here, upload the video in. So let's say I was going to upload this one here, for example. I'd press open. This is uploading the video. As you can see, it's going to do it now. This might take a couple of seconds. Let me have a quick sip of my tea while it does it. Oh, it's taking its time. Oh, here we go. It's starting to move now. So this now is uploading that video directly into Ads Manager for you. Let me skip this because that video is already there. So if I just go to Add Media, Add Video. So pretend that video is uploaded, that video will be here, we'd click it and press next. But maybe you have a video on your social media, on your Facebook already that you want to use. So if I went to add media, it would be the exact same way to do this for video. So if you uploaded the video the other day onto your Facebook page and you want to use that, we'll just do the same. So we'd click the image or video part. And then where it says account images, we'd click that and we'd head down to where it says page images, or it would say page videos too if it was a video. That would then load up your social media, your Facebook page, and this is where these are the pictures that you've been adding up recently. So let's just say I'm scrolling down and we're going to use this lady squatting here. I'd click the image, press next, press done, and that adds the image in there. Okay, now let's go back to the start of that video. In the start of the video, we said we were going to create two variations, and the variation is going to be one picture and another picture. So let's press X up here at the start to close. Then press campaigns. So this is the campaign. We've talked about this earlier, so let's give this blue text a click. That opens up the ad set. With this one ad set ticked, we're going to press duplicate here. We're going to press duplicate. And then from here, all we're going to do is change the copy 1 to copy 2. Something else to consider before we go any further is this type of text. Facebook is telling us that we're not going to generate any leads for the amount of money that we're spending. Now, there's two ways you could be looking at it. This could be Facebook telling you that they want more money from you, or this is Facebook guessing that they think that the amount you're spending isn't going to generate any leads. If you've been running ads before, you should know roughly what it's cost you before. So from just experience, if I'm spending, let's say, $250 a day, every 2 days, I should be generating at least one lead from this Facebook advert. So usually in the UK, it's about £5 a lead. If you went as that as an average from this campaign itself, £2.50 and £2.50, we should be getting at least one lead. So you've got copy 2 here that we've just created. If I click copy 1 here of copy 2, you see it branching off. I'm now going to change this to copy 2 as well, so they both match. So we've got copy 1, copy 1, copy 2, copy 2. All we're going to do is change the image, so let's clear this image. add media, add image, find a new image of some ladies training. Let's just go with this one and press next, done. And that is good to go from there. So let me move myself out of the way again. So we've got copy 1, we've got copy 2, that's all sound ready to go. So finally, we're going to press X up here, and it says here, review and publish 5. So the reason it's 5, it's 2 ads, 2 ad sets, 1 campaign. So if you created 1 campaign, and you had 3 of these, it would also give you 3 of these, so that would be 7. But for now it's 5, so let's press review and publish. It's going to ask, do you want to publish? We're going to press publish. Okay, we're almost at the end of the training. Okay, you can see now it's all done. It says here, multiple items published. So if I come back to campaigns over here on the left-hand side, remove myself again, you can see the Facebook advert is in review. Now, Facebook are going to check a few things. They're going to make sure your copy is positive, it's not negative, it's not putting anybody down, it's not calling out to any specific traits that people don't like, and the images and videos match exactly what they need from them. So it goes into review. It's going to be in the review for maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on how long it usually takes. But let's just say an hour and a half is a good aim to go for. Once it's live, Facebook will then start showing this advert to everybody that we selected in the audience in the ad set itself. Then your campaign is running and hopefully you are generating leads. Now, when the leads are coming in, you may or may not get a notification from from Facebook letting you know a new lead has come in. The reason that happens is because maybe you turned off email notifications from Facebook when you first ever started. So what we need to do is we need to go into the search bar up here. We need to type in your Facebook page, which is this one here. We're going to click your Facebook page to load this up. And then we're going to come down to a place on the left hand side here called Leads Center. A new page is then going to load up, and you can see here it's going to show you all the leads that have come in recently. So if I just click all forms and I click test, this is the form that we created earlier, no leads have come in. The reason that it says no leads is because the advert is still in review. When a new lead does come in, this form will then upload and the new details will come in. So it'll have their name, their email, their phone number, and you can manage the leads from here. So if I just go to all forms really quickly, and we can use this person for an example here, the details are all here, and then we can just decide where they're in. Interested lead, lead converted, archived, or bad lead. Okay, so there's loads of options we can do from here. So there you go. That's how we would set up a Facebook lead ads if we were a beginner. And I know the training was quite long, but I kind of wanted to explain all the points as beneficial as possible to you so you get the best possible return from the ads that you are running. If you are struggling with the Facebook ad copy itself, 2 things to remember. Don't be negative and don't call out to specific traits that are going to put people down, okay? If you are struggling, go back in the video, press stop, screenshot the text that we use and use it as your own. And when it comes to videos and images, make sure there's no before and after pictures and make sure there isn't too much text in the video at the same time. Final thing I will say on this point is if you want to come back and check out tomorrow's video where we talk about lead ads to be able to get you a better quality lead, because we're going to make the form a little bit more complicated so it takes a more serious person to complete it, then do come back and check tomorrow's video out. But for now, if you want to check out some of our other videos on the channel, click these links here. Or if you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, make sure you do that by clicking that big red button below. But for now, have a good evening and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Cheers.